I just woke up like not too long ago. I was laying in my bed, but I was just thinking about some stuff which we're going to talk about. Not quite yet. But I completely forgot what I was going to say. My problem in life. Gosh dang it. Okay, anyway, I guess let's just get to the point. So this morning I was thinking about the fact that how, body shaming became a big bad thing, which of course it is. It's not good to body shame, especially other people. But with that, it grew into like a whole new monster. So this morning what happened is I woke up, I went into the bathroom, and what I do now, I just started a new workout routine is, I look at my abs, see what I look like, because that's something that shows me where I'm at and how I'm growing. And so it reminded me of, a year ago when I was waking up and looking in the bathroom and I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt, and I just felt really good today. And I wanted to share some stuff because, I just watched a video by Glam and Gore. If I could talk, Glam and Gore. And basically, she changed her whole life around. She had lost a bunch of weight, and it reminded me of one of the biggest things is I feel like we, as a society, push things to tomorrow. So this past year, I was in a relationship where I gained a lot of weight. It hurt my self-esteem, and it wasn't because I was becoming fat. It was because the way it made me feel. It made me feel lazy. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like not having it. Maybe I was slightly depressed. I really just wanted to stay in bed all day, which who doesn't anyway. But on a serious note, I just felt terrible, and I kept pushing it to the next day. It was always like, oh, I'll go to the gym the next day, like tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow. And one of the biggest things is when I was in high school, I started weightlifting class, and that's when I just felt so amazing. It was the best I've ever felt because I used to be bullied in middle school, and I just never felt good enough. And when I started working out, I felt good, and not for everybody else, but for myself. Like, I was having self-esteem issues, and I finally felt like someone I wanted to be. And so I kept it up even after high school. I would go like up to 5 times a week when I got out of high school because I had more time on my hands. And when I got into this relationship May? It was last May. And I lost myself. I was in lifeguarding, so I was like, I have to do lifeguarding training once a week. And that was swimming laps in a wave pool, running around the whole park. But it wasn't enough. Like, I still wasn't feeling good, but I didn't want to push myself and go to the gym because I was tired after work, and I just blamed it on that. And then with this relationship, it was a lot of yelling. And with yelling, I get like secluded into myself, and I really didn't know what to do. Like, I just lost myself completely. And with that, I gained a lot of weight. I couldn't fit the pants that I could fit, which that alone, if anyone has gone through that, knows that affects you as a person. Like, you feel very self-conscious at the fact that you can't fit the clothes that you used to fit. Obviously, t-shirts were fine, but pants are different. Like, you get them up and you're like trying to button them, and then it's really tight and you're like, oh, And so I just really did not feel good. With all that being said, recently, with a new boyfriend I had in my life, spill the tea later. With the new boyfriend, we are working out. I actually have a gym in my apartment building, and I started a new routine. So before, like, it's even better than before. Before, I didn't even like doing cardio. Like, who does like doing cardio? Some people. Some of you like to go out and run and stuff, but I hated running. Like, I had asthma in high school, and If I'm being honest, it really wasn't that bad, but I always told the PE teachers, I'm like, I can't do the mile today, like, or I'll like start running and be like, it hurts too bad, but I was totally faking it. I hated to run. I hated it so much. So now I do bike riding, and I actually go out and ride bikes sometimes too. Like, it's not just the machine, I do a little bit of both. In my town they have this thing called a Lime bike. Not sponsored, but you could sponsor me. And the Lime bike, you just like tap it and go. And it's really cool. And I don't even have to bring a bike back up into my room. Although I eventually do want to get my own bike, but it's great. And so I've been doing that, and I've been doing this ab workout. Like, I follow this routine on YouTube. I forget the woman's name, but it has changed everything. Like, before I had my own routine, but it wasn't that good. Like, I got it from a friend when I was in high school, and it just never gave me abs. Like, I've been doing this for 2 weeks, and I'm already, like, I'm not flexing right now, and I can have, like, it's toned-ish. Like, it's at the beginning of being toned. And I've only been doing this for 2 weeks. It's crazy. So, that all being said, I'm not trying to be here to just talk about myself. What I felt the need to talk about is, in this day and age, and I was watching a YouTube video about another YouTuber that I watch, her Glam and Gore, and she was talking about the effects that she felt, and she explained this too, and I just want to reiterate, I don't want to take, you know, I didn't create these thoughts, like, I am just adding on to them. So she basically said, in this day and age, we have everyone around saying, hey, accept yourself, love yourself, but when someone decides to be like, hey, I'm going to go back to the gym, or I'm going to go to the gym because I don't feel good about myself, everybody gets pissed off, and they're like, why don't you accept yourself? Why don't you love yourself for who you are? And the thing is, we shouldn't care about what other people are thinking in that instance, because what you feel like is the more important issue. Because no one else is you, no one else has to live in your skin, no one else throughout your whole entire life will ever literally be able to fill your shoes. It's only going to be you. So if you don't feel good on the inside because you're chubby, and maybe it's not because you're chubby, maybe it's because you can't do the mile like you used to. Maybe it's because you can't walk as far as you used to. Maybe it's because when you're walking up the stairs, you get winded halfway up. Whatever the case is, it shouldn't be anyone else's decision but your own to decide to go to the gym. If you feel good and you're 200 pounds, that's great. That's amazing. You should love yourself for who you are. But if you at any point decide you don't feel good about yourself, that's okay too. Because that's a moment you realize, hey, I'm not the same person I was. I'm not feeling the same as I used to. And in that moment, you should decide to change something about that. Work on it. It's not about what other people think. And it's not about the fat. It's not about society's image and what you're supposed to look like. It's about you. And in my case, yes, I want to model, and yes, there have been cases where a photographer told me, hey, you should lose a couple pounds, but that didn't make my decision to say, oh, hey, I need to lose a couple pounds. It did open my eyes, though, and I was like, dang, because I had no idea why I wasn't feeling good, and I was like, that's why. Like, I can't do half the things. I was the one who got winded halfway up the stairs. I couldn't walk that far. And not the mile one, but, because I don't run the miles. But it shouldn't be anyone else's decisions, thoughts on it. No one. I mean, it's you, and you're the important one, and you're the one that's supposed to be feeling good, and that's all that matters. And I just wanted to I just woke up, and I just wanted to remind everyone that it's okay to not feel good about yourself. But don't keep it at just, I'm not feeling good about myself. Like, do something about it. If you have a hobby that you haven't done in a while, and that's what makes you happy, do your hobby. Like, make time for it. Make time for yourself, because you're the most important person in this world, not anyone else. You know? If you have kids, when you lay them down to go to sleep, pick up your hobby, do something that you love to do, go into the other room, whatever the case is. I know where you're coming from. I had a little brother that I had to watch most of my life, but it doesn't stop you. You still have time. You make time. Don't forget it.